Hell yeah.
Hey, Brandon, I got this Baker Mayfield jersey. You want it?
No. Wait. I'll just wait till you throw it out, and then I'll take it out of your garbage can, and I'll put it on for free.
That makes more sense. Oh, baby! We here. It is frickin' Friday.
Friday. Baby.
That's it. And we are here to navigate you through to the weekend. This is the Friday edition of the Grossi Perna Show. Tom Grossi, Brandon Perna, or as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles call it, GPS. They had sex with April O'Neil.
Oh, we all wanted to.
That's your
except for I kind of always wanted to sleep with Splinter. I want people to call me the rat fornicator. Oh.
What? you want it? You want it? I'm sorry. This just made me laugh insanely hard.
Cowabunga, baby!
Oh, my.
We are the gateway to your weekend and weird confessions about mutant rats.
All I'm going to say is that what other show is bringing you this?
No, nobody.
He also might have the bubonic plague.
Bubonic.
Yes.
To make you stronger.
Yes.
Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I do have a huge announcement, Tom.
Oh,
I didn't even tell you about this before the show.
Oh.
So I went into LinkedIn yesterday. Realized the videos on my profile are 2 or 3 years old.
Uh-huh.
Deleted that. Updated it. And now atop the profile sits an episode of GPS and the most recent draft video. So GPS is on my LinkedIn.
That's it.
Now all those people viewing the profile are going to be like, oh, that Tom Grossi is pretty good. Let me look at his information.
Yeah, I rarely go on my LinkedIn because I just don't know. Like, what do we need to do? Like, I don't need to talk to professionals.
No,
definitely not. Packers will sign Julio Jones. Give me Julio Jones, the veteran minimum, please.
Ooh, $5 for Julio Jones. That's
I
the
will
asking
do $5. $5 for Julio Jones. $5. Yeah, folks, we got some stuff to talk about. The main story will be about Baker Mayfield. Pete Carroll coming out and basically saying that they don't think that the Seahawks are going to trade, which is like, hey now, because I thought if anyone was going to trade for Baker Mayfield at this point, it was going to be the Seahawks. Whoa, Dustin! Drop it a hundo!
Mr. Jones and me.
Oh, Justin, I got something lined up for you. I got something lined up for you. Johnny, hit it!
Johnny John John!
Mr. Jones and me.
I want to hear that as I enter the gates of hell. I want to hear her laughter and it's Satan on a scooter. Woo!
And it's John Elway doing the helicopter over and over again.
Oh God, that would be my hell.
Yeah.
It's just that. It's just the 2015 NFC Championship game. It's just playing on a loop always. But that's what it's gonna be. Yeah, we'll talk about Mr. Baker Mayfield. That's gonna be the main story today. We'll talk about second-year QBs that we think are going to take the leap this year. Which ones are going to do a little bit better? We'll talk a little bit about DeAndre Hopkins. We'll talk about
D-Hop.
D-Hop. Talking about a couple things. We'll rock, we'll roll, and there we go.
Yeah, I got that PED info for you.
Beach 5K. Ooh, running on sand. Ooh.
Whoa.
All right, listen. There's a scene. Is it Rocky 3? When he's racing Apollo on the beach? I feel like it has to be, right? Because it can't be
they're
Rocky
like sprinting in the montage.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's when they're when he's training to fight. Oh, is that Drago?
It has to be 3, right? Because
3 or
1, they wouldn't be
4.
training together. 2, they wouldn't be training together.
No.
It'd have to be 3, right?
It's 3 or 4, yeah.
Well, 4,
He trains in Russia, right?
4 he dies. So
Oh, Kree. Oh, that's right, because Drago kills him. So it is 3.
So I feel like that's 3. Okay, so
Trevor
Ruben,
Lang fight.
the point is you need to find somebody who is dramatically better than you, and you need to run right next to them the entire time, and you just stare at them. You just keep looking and staring at them, like, Edwin! And just scare the crap out of them until you run past them. Or they run even faster, which then promotes you to run faster.
Right.
So
I'm going to find that. I'm trying to think who I'd want to be like. Who's really great that I admire?
I love how you gave me the proper name for it, Uncultured, because I have taught that to my students for literally like 6 years straight. Yersinia pestis. Yes, the fleas on rats.
Whoa, Yersinia pestis.
That's the name for the bubonic plague. Yep.
I didn't know. Sorry, we're dropping Rocky spoilers in here, guys. Very sorry about that.
Spoilers, guys. Come on. I'm only on Rocky 2.
Is there like a cutoff where a movie's so old that you expect enough people haven't seen it that you shouldn't spoil it?
Once you get past a decade, I feel like it's like, hey, like, sorry, all bets are off. At that point, and that's way over a decade.
Yeah. I mean, that came out in what, the 80s?
That was a while ago. Like, if you're watching this and you don't know the truth about Darth Vader, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, unless you are a child or you just never saw it and never planned to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're like. Yeah, I'm going to, if you're like a 35-year-old and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get around to watching Star Wars, but no spoilers. I feel like
spoiler, he's Yoda's dad.
Yeah, exactly. I will never forget that we're totally off the rails. I will never forget when, there you go, 5 points. When the 6th Harry Potter book came out and people like read the big spoiler in that, and they would just drive past a Barnes and Noble where there'd be a ton of people waiting in line at midnight and scream out spoilers. Like, I remember that. Like, that was a legit thing that would happen. And people got so mad. They got so mad.
I meant to do this one.
Paul.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Like, reading a book so you can spoil it for people. That's like the lamest prank on earth.
It's like, I'm going to be educated and I'm going to read.
I got better at reading just to piss you off.
Freaking got him. All right. Perna, do we just jump right into our main story today?
Yeah.
Let's jump into it. All right. Baker Mayfield, a man who has been mentioned on this show many, many times. And there were...
And the Hindenburg has a successful flight. Not.
Not. All right. We talked about Baker Mayfield, and we thought he would be moved maybe a little before the draft. Then the Panthers were like, we're not doing anything yet. Then we thought, okay, maybe during the draft. Nothing happened there. Especially like day 2 when there was like no QBs going. I was like, maybe something happens. Nothing happens. And now we're like, okay, well, now post-draft, you're going to see Baker Mayfield, guys like Jimmy G finally get moved. But Pete Carroll comes on out and says, I think we're going to be trading, which means that they're going to be rocking with, a little Geno Smith action, a little Drew Lock action, which doesn't it feel so nice? Like, doesn't it feel so nice to not have to worry about Drew Lock this season?
Yes. Horsecock Lock is out of my life. Not wishing him ill will, but
No.
he did grow up a Chiefs fan. Part of me thinks he wanted to sabotage the Broncos from the inside. But knowing who your quarterback is, whoa, them's is fighting words. Dad's coming after you. Wow, we.
Okay, Mr. Clean. Okay.
But let me keep talking because I will lose my train of thought. Russell
Not having
Wilson,
Drew Lock.
the security blanket we need. Hope Drew Lock has a chance to succeed in Seattle. That said, I think the Seahawks are just waiting, patiently waiting for Baker Mayfield to be released, and then they will swoop in and sign him. Because the other team that might have done that was the Steelers, right? The rumor was the Steelers will take Baker Mayfield if they cut him. And I think what happened to Baker is he's a victim of the Carolina Panthers not having a draft pick in the second round. This is like a contradiction because I think the Panthers would have set off the chain of a quarterback run had they had a second round draft pick. But since QBs didn't go, they had like a great value pick in the third round. So if they had the pick, maybe they take a quarterback and it wouldn't have mattered for Baker Mayfield. But the Panthers were the team that everyone's like, they're putting a package together to acquire Baker Mayfield. That didn't happen because they're like, oh, we can just draft Matt Corral, who we really like. Kind of maybe a similar upside. And, you know, they had to, Desmond Ridder went off the board of the Falcons, so they had their choice. So Baker's just like, in terms of everything going against him, it has happened.
Yeah, I mean,
except for OU putting him in their Hall of Fame.
I think there's the issues of, I think it's just like you said, everything is kind of like compiled against him. There's like, okay, like maybe there's the personality issues, like he doesn't gel so much with the locker room. Then on top of that, he is coming off a down year. On top of that, he's coming off of an injury. And on top of that, so a commenter said, like, no one wants to pay $18 million for him. So why are they going to trade and have to spend nearly $20 million on a QB that they don't even know, like, could be successful? I mean, you literally have the president of the Green Bay Packers not even knowing if Baker Mayfield is on a team at this point. So there's everything is, and the Browns again, I don't know how much leverage they have here because, okay, you're going to keep Baker and you're going to pay him a bunch of money and he's probably not even going to start for you. It was Godzilla. That Godzilla is really what sunk the Titanic. Yeah. That is true.
And it was Jimmy Page and Puff Daddy playing the weird version of Kashmir on the Titanic as it went down while Godzilla burned it to the
open your eyes, sheeple. God. But yeah, so I think there's so many things working against Baker. And so now if you're the Browns, you're like, okay, well, am I going to spend a whole bunch of money or am I just going to cut my losses and wind up still spending a whole bunch of money? Like they're kind of in between a rock and a hard place because I got to be honest, if I'm Baker Mayfield, I am not touching a ball for the Cleveland Browns. It's like, nope.
If I'm Baker Mayfield, I sue the Browns. I'm like, you're already dealing with this crap. Let me throw my lawsuit at you. I think the funniest, well, I don't know, funniest. I think the most interesting angle that Josina Anderson was tweeting out was that nobody wants to do a deal with the Browns because you're kind of doing them a favor by giving up anything for Baker Mayfield. And nobody wants to do that because all the other teams are pissed off at them for the contract that they gave to Deshaun Watson.
That's interesting.
The fact that they guaranteed his entire contract means they have really no leverage to tell a really good quarterback, we're not going to guarantee all your money because they have none of the baggage coming with them that Deshaun Watson does. I don't know if that's true. I think it's an interesting angle. So random guy, met him last night in my Patreon hangout. Seahawks fan. He's rooting for Geno Smith, hoping to see a little Geno Smith. So,
but I think the The problem is they're screwed because if they keep him, they're paying him 18.8 and his dead cap is 18.8. So even if they release, like they're paying him $18 million unless they move him. Yeah. And I think there's not a team on this planet that's going to be like, yeah, sure, I'll take that for you. They're like, maybe we do like halvesies, we'll do something like that. Yeah. But now I don't even know if there's a team out there that's willing to make that trade. Like you said, the Panthers, they went and drafted one. You have the Seahawks who are saying they're not going to go and trade for one. Or maybe the Seahawks want to, right? Maybe the Seahawks actually want to, but this is just like negotiating. They're like, hey, let's feign no interest. And then.
I mean, if the Panthers traded for Baker Mayfield, it would be so stupid. Mm-hmm. It would be so incredibly dumb. Not a knock on Baker, but because they have Sam Darnold on the roster. They're already paying a little bit cheaper because Baker and Darnold, same draft. They would have the number 1 and the number 3 quarterback drafted, right? Because it went Baker, Barkley, Darnold. No. When was Darnold was 5th? When the fuck was Darnold drafted?
I don't remember when.
I can't remember when Darnold was drafted. They're the top 2 quarterbacks from the same draft. They'd be paying them the same amount of ridiculous money, and they don't even know if they want either guy. Both still have a lot to prove. Both possibly have an upside. I don't even know who I would take between those 2 quarterbacks.
Third. Darnold was third.
Okay. Denzel Ward was 4. Chubb was 5. That's how it went. Anyway, so like, why would you make that move for Carolina without like having a plan to get rid of Darnold, which they can't do until next season? Same boat the Browns are in with Baker. So it's another weird piece where the NFL has more quarterbacks who need jobs than there are really openings, unless somebody's willing to be a backup or a team's willing to eat a certain part of a contract. It's just,
the thing I will say is about Sam Darnold. Like, I don't think the Panthers have any hope in him whatsoever. Like, I feel like he kind of extinguished that last year because they were literally running 3 QB sets in the same game because they're like, hey, let's send this one out there. No, okay, well, let's try this one. Oh no, it didn't work.
Man, so, if the Panthers could have had Sam Darnold, brought Cam Newton back, and traded for Baker Mayfield, that's 2 number 1 overall picks at QB and a 3rd overall pick at QB.
Crushed it.
And I think the other thing, the Panthers, like, they're not sold on Matt Rule. Like, there's a good chance he gets fired after this season if they don't play better. So they're in a bad spot.
I also think if you're the Seahawks too, and this was mentioned before, like, you're not going to win a lot of football games this year. Like, I mean that. No, I don't mean that in the nicest way possible because the Seahawks are terrible.
I mean, in the worst way possible.
I hate them. But, you look at their draft, they didn't go after a QB, which then spurred the rumors about, okay, after the draft, they'll trade for Baker Mayfield. But they got offensive line. They're going after the edge, right? They get a running back to make sure that they're short up there. If they know that they're not going to be good and they have the Broncos 1st round pick next year, correct? So like they could move around and go get a QB. Yeah. So in a much better draft class, I'm not saying they're going to tank, but I think that they might be in a situation where they say, hey, let's build the team around. We have great wide receivers. Let's build the team around. So then when we do get a QB, we can kind of just place them in there and they'll get the best chance to succeed.
Yeah. And they could do that because it looks like the Seahawks are going to run a wishbone offense with all 3 of their running backs back there. Maybe it's effective.
And again, too, you also need to look at how many, you have a better QB draft class coming next year, but also how many teams are going to be looking at QBs. The Seahawks, the Lions are 100% going to be up there. I mean, the Vikings could be in the market for that. We'll see how Justin Fields does. Oh my God, if that doesn't work out. I mean, but I don't think they'd quit on him that early. But we'll see how he's going to go. I mean, hell, the Packers could be on that list. Like there's the Panthers, if it doesn't work out this year. The Falcons are another team. I know that they drafted a QB, but they could go get a better one. The Texans could be on that list. Like there's a lot of teams that could be looking for a QB. Hell, it could be the Colts. If Matt Ryan only lasts a year, we'll see how long he's going to play.
Yeah. No, the Falcons should start Desmond Ridder week 1.
Just say screw it.
Well, it's not even screw it. It's like all you have is upside. Like he's the guy everybody thought was very NFL ready, incredibly intelligent. If you throw him in there and he turns out like, oh, he's actually pretty good, and you don't feel like you need a QB next year, you're in a great spot. If he's comparable to what people believe this draft class was and he doesn't play well, you're probably going to be sitting right there where you need to pick his replacement anyway.
Yeah.
So I think like they'll probably maybe roll with Mariota and then go to Ridder. It's just like, just start him. Like give him a whole season to evaluate. But yeah, next year will be really interesting. It'll be a more interesting draft.
It was already a crazy draft, but now like all those rumors you heard about no one wanting to be in the top 10, there's going to be a lot more teams that are going to want to trade up into the top 10. I mean, to be honest, the Saints could be on that list too.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
They're another team. Again, someone mentioned the Giants in the chat. Like there are a lot of teams that
Texans?
could be looking for QB.
Did you say Texans?
Yeah, Texans. Yep, absolutely. If Davis Mills doesn't work out, I mean,
Jaguars.
depending on what happens with Tom Brady, I mean, I think they'll be too far, but yeah.
Yeah, they won't be in a position, but.
Well, if they are, then that means that he sucked this year, which.
Oh, God, I would love if he led them to the worst place record in the league. What a nice way for that
Eagles, too.
Man to end his career.
I forgot about the Eagles. Yeah.
Eagles won't be. They got their future. His name is Carson Strong.
I love how high you were on Carson Strong and the guy. Like,
it wasn't just me. He was.
No, I remember you specifically when we were talking before you got.
He's who I wanted
like,
the Broncos.
Carson Strong. You're like, that's the guy.
Dude, they were talking about him being the #1 overall pick before the last season. And it's an injury thing with his knee. They think it's a degenerative issue that will never get better. And he played through it his final season at Nevada and friggin' lit it up. Like, in terms of arm talent and guy making NFL throws, he's the one. But just, I hope that knee stays healthy, and I hope he gets a shot somewhere. Because if not, it'll make me look less intelligent. That's really what it's about.
Nailed it. Now, I did want to talk about, speaking of QBs, because who knows if these teams are going to potentially be, because there's a couple teams in here I'd be like, wow, would you give up that early? I want to talk about what second-year QBs are going to make the biggest leap. Because I would, maybe you'll agree with me at this, Perna, I would say that based off of the first year, it was a bit underwhelming. There wasn't a guy that came out and it's like, wow, that's amazing. Mac Jones, I would say, is the most maybe successful, right? Out of the rookies last year, I think was also put in a pretty good position. Davis Mills, obviously, you know.
Let's be honest, Trey Lance won the most games.
True. I want to talk about, I actually forgot to put Davis Mills in here. Sorry, Davis.
That's a good point. The difference, though, like between a quarterback and a running back and being able to play through the knee thing, pretty substantial. I think a quarterback can deal with it. It may take like off-season maintenance and stuff because it's a cartilage issue, but anyway. Yeah, he threw Zach Wilson in there. Forgot about old Zachy. Forgot about Zachy.
It's all right. So you got Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Davis Mills, Zach Wilson. Right? Those are the big ones. Now, Trey Lance. So, you know what? Before we even get into that, I want to talk about Trey Lance for a hot second because I saw that same report that you did, right? There was floating around on the Twitter that basically they are unimpressed. The 49ers are unimpressed with what they've seen from Trey Lance. However,
that was Jimmy G's burner account?
Yes. There's an interview that they're interviewing Shanahan, and Shanahan's like, no, like we believe in Trey Lance. That's why we're trying to move Jimmy G. And it seems that the 49ers are kind of in a situation where they're saying, hey, we're not going to move on from Jimmy G unless we can get that value because he's a good QB. So we might as well keep him on the team, which again is like odd because you are going to be paying him a good chunk of change. I mean, I don't know what his contract is right this second. Oh, TBK. That sounds like cat things. That sounds like normal cat things.
That's a dick cat move if I've ever heard one.
It kind of seems like a normal cat move. Like right now, so they're paying him this year, Jesus Christ, 24 mil in base salary. Yeah. So they're giving him money.
But here's the thing. They could cut Jimmy G and have just a dead cap hit of 1.4 million.
Correct.
But you don't cut a quarterback as good as Jimmy Garoppolo.
Because someone will go get him.
Yes.
Like the Seahawks. He will be in the division.
Yeah. I mean, would you trade Jimmy G in the division just to get what are you getting? Like a second round draft pick, maybe? A third rounder? I don't know.
Trade him back to the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Or you know what? No. Trade him to the Buccaneers just so he could sit behind Brady again.
Oh, my God. The Bucs were supposedly interested in him when they thought Brady was gone.
Okay. Maybe I'm out of the loop here. Did you see that thing about Jimmy G and Robert Kraft's girlfriend?
Oh, no.
So, okay. This is a rumor. This is a rumor, okay? Apparently, there is a rumor out there that while Jimmy Garoppolo was with the Patriots, he hooked up with Robert Kraft's much younger girlfriend and got her pregnant. And apparently, Robert Kraft's girlfriend, Robert Kraft has said, I am not the father, but I wish that, like I was saying, congratulations to his girlfriend. I was like, and maybe that could have shifted Jimmy G out the door. Again, I'm not going to go like full tinfoil. I saw it pop up on my feed and I was like, say what? So now I kind of, hold on.
Yeah, but if you were a woman, would you rather sleep with Robert Kraft or Jimmy Garoppolo?
Okay, here we go. Rumor around because he knocked up his girlfriend. All right. A few years back, it was rumored that QB felt threatened by his replacement, resulted in the shocking trade. Real reason was because the owner, knocked up the owner's much younger girlfriend.
Dude, well, this is a thing with New England personnel because Josh McDaniels, back when he was with the Broncos, the rumor was that running back Peyton Hillis was hitting on Josh McDaniels' wife. Maybe something more happened. Maybe something.
Well, there was the Golden Tate Russell Wilson thing too.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Which I think that's why you should trade for him. Hold on. Now I need to look up.
Yes, Paul, I am wearing the same shirt from yesterday. Thanks for pointing it out.
All right, hold on. Because if you type in right now, Jimmy Garoppolo and Robert Kraft's girlfriend, you'll see the articles. Like, I'm not just like making it up, but that is like the rumor. Yeah. Patriots. Oh, so this is from 2018. Patriots owners Robert Kraft's girlfriend secretly has a baby, and it wasn't Robert Kraft's.
Wow.
I know this has turned into like TMZ, but I think that this story is like, oh my gosh.
That it doesn't mean sex happened though. Like you can get pregnant just by looking at Jimmy Garoppolo.
I mean, that is accurate.
Yeah. Man, how did I miss this? That's the real question.
If that's not a Perna video, then I don't know what is anymore. Then I don't know what is.
I'll just make it now. I'll make it.
I really want to see that. Anyway, okay. So try to back up and get back to where we were. We're talking about Jimmy G, and Shanahan's not going to move on from him unless they get some kind of value. But I don't think there's any teams out there that are willing to take that value at this point, especially not for that contract. So I think they're just probably hold on to him for another year. Or it's like you have said multiple times, wait until you start getting into the season. Oh no, a QB goes down, and all of a sudden a guy like Baker Mayfield and Jimmy G looks like an attractive option instead of not having a quarterback or going with a backup.
Yeah, and it's like the 49ers gave up a lot to get Trey Lance, but they have the luxury of not having to start him this year if they keep Jimmy Garoppolo. There's also, he had the shoulder surgery, so that's a bit of a question, right? But like, if you're the 49ers and you believe Trey Lance isn't 100% ready, it's not a bad thing that he's taking a little longer to prepare to, be your quarterback. That said, like, he's missed because of the COVID season. Like, he hasn't played a lot of football. You know what I mean? So probably just need to get him out there.
Mm-hmm.
Trial by fire is what I believe in. Anyway, Trey Lance. I mean, he's with Jimmy G, if they don't move him, I don't even know how much he'll play. So he is not the quarterback, in my eyes, who will make the biggest leap in their second year.
You don't think so?
No. Because it's still kind of be like a rookie season for him.
That's accurate. Now, my question is, because the Jaguars are the Jaguars, if Trevor Lawrence is not good, do they already give up on him? And with their first overall pick next year, they got, like, that's a legit question.
Yeah, I mean, it's Doug Peterson. So you're thinking about a guy who coached up Carson Wentz and then won a Super Bowl calling plays for Nick Foles. And then Frank Reich left, and we're like, where'd the magic go? So I don't know how good of a coach Doug Peterson really is, but you got to assume they'll get more out of Trevor Lawrence with Peterson there. Christian Kirk's got to be the greatest wide receiver in that division based on how much they paid him. James Robinson, they'll get Travis Etienne back.
Yes.
Their offense should be a little better. I think Trevor Lawrence has a good chance to look better. So let's zoom in on this.
I'm just saying, this is from 2018. It's from NBC.
ESPN. Wow.
When he demanded, Robert Kraft demanded that they traded Jimmy G. I'm just saying, the breadcrumbs are there, Perna, for you to put it all together. And
wow.
I'm just saying.
So maybe Tom Brady took the hit for Kraft. Like, everybody thought Jimmy G was traded because Brady hated him. Maybe Brady was just posturing to take the heat off Bobby.
Just saying.
And because they still love each other.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Nick Foles, I don't know. He'll go to the Eagles when Jalen Hurts doesn't work out, and he'll lead them to a Super Bowl again.
Stop writing off Gardner Minshew and Carson Strong.
Ace Spades, hope you're healing well, bud.
Ace of Spades, you are welcome.
If I don't see a Robert Kraft Secret Love Child with Jimmy G video on your channel in the next week, Perna, I'm going to be severely disappointed.
Yeah, it might have to come in June, but I'm going to put that on my radar.
I'm going to forget about it.
The real reason Jimmy G was forced out of New England. And then in parentheses, boner.
Nailed it. All right. So let's talk about guys that we think are going to take the biggest leap out of that group. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones?
No.
Okay. Zach Wilson, I think, has a good chance to. Zach Wilson, I think when he came back from injury, he was at least better. So I think that he has an opportunity to do better.
No, Mac Jones can be better, but I think he set the bar a little too high to be the biggest leap guy.
Yeah. Can't wait any longer, Kung Fu. Can't wait any longer. I can't.
Yeah, and I need the thumbnail with the arrow in it, and then I'll get all the clicks.
Can you mush, since it's been a few years, dude, if you find one of those face combiners and do Robert Kraft's ex-girlfriend and Jimmy G, you can see what the kid looks like now.
Yes.
Oh man, we could go full TMZ here.
I'll just use a picture of full-sized Julian Edelman.
Yes.
Or Danny Woodhead. This is their kid.
That's it. That's the one. I want to get your take on this before I say a word. Oh. Justin Fields.
Justin Fields forever. Oof. Man.
Great start.
Yeah, I look at this list and I think, oh man, I think Justin Fields has the biggest uphill battle of any of the quarterbacks. I'm not sure I don't know what the Bears are doing. It seems like their plan is for next season. I think maybe their line is a little better than we give it credit for, which is saying that the quarterbacks are a little worse than people might believe. Justin Fields had a turnover problem. Wasn't like necessarily just picks, fumbling. There's a lot to improve there, but athleticism, better than anybody we're talking about.
Agreed.
I think they need to lean into that. And I feel like we saw Justin Fields make some really impressive throws.
Agreed.
They were just surrounded by a lot of bad throws. So it's hard to give him too much credit for that. Also, new coach, right? I don't know if Matt Nagy's as bad as we want to make out, but
He is. He is.
yeah. It feels like Fields needs 2 more years there to feel good about. Biggest question mark, lowest bar, so he could look a lot better just by playing average.
Yes. I think so. My concern, you have Tevin Jenkins, who's coming back, right? Because he was injured last year. He's coming back. And like when he was back, though, like there's a couple of like, I don't know. But again, injury, dealing with that, I think he'd be much better. I loved him coming out of college. I think he could be really good. The Bears at the end of the draft drafted 4 offensive linemen. We're like, screw it, somebody's out there, starting in the 5th and then getting a bunch with like the later round guys. Yeah. And if one of those guys pans out, they'll be happy, right? Because when you're talking about the day 3 picks, you want like maybe 1 or 2 of them to actually make the team and work out. So my concern would be, obviously, like there's the wide receiver. I think Darnell Mooney is fantastic. Velus Jones, while he is older at 25, I think he's versatile and there's a lot of flexibility about where they can move him around on the field. I think that could be solid. You have David Montgomery, who I think is a very good running back. My concern would be the offensive line. And then also just kind of what offense they're going to run with. Like, I think that if you are saying, hey, like, how's their defense going to be? Where their run defense was not great. It was not great for last year. But they addressed like the secondary to make sure that secondary, was kind of built up a little bit. So I just don't know. Like, I don't know if the Bears offense is designed to get into a shootout with anybody. And I think in previous years, they relied on that defense to prevent any type of shootout scenario, right? If the game is close, then the Bears have a shot because they can, run the ball down their throat, smash mouth defense, etc. I think it's just going to be tough that if that defense isn't as good as it has been in previous years, that's where they could run into some issues.
Yeah, I think like there's a good chance like Darnell Mooney.
Yes.
Mooney. Darnell Mooney can become like a legit number 1 receiver. Like I think he has that potential. And that's just like the lack of weapons that's been used as an excuse for the Bears and
no more Allen Robinson.
Yeah, just disarray, it feels like, from the top down. They're trying to start a new era. If Justin Fields does not look good this year, they will move on from him, I think, fairly quickly. Like,
I don't know, dude. That's a lot. They traded up to get him, and like
the last regime did. Like, new GM, new head coach. They don't care what the previous dudes did. And after the Cardinals moved off of Rosen so quickly, I think it just kind of opened up the door for teams to feel more confident to wheel and deal. I bet you could trade Justin Fields. Not this year, but like, next year.
More of a threat. As I put it, I think I said this on the draft grade. I think the Lions have the best draft in the division, but you're not going to see that impact, like its full impact, until a couple years down the road. The Packers with their draft, like you're going to see that immediate impact that they could potentially go to a Super Bowl. So in a few years, the Lions are going to be a problem if they continue to build the way they're building. So, I mean, it was funny. Like I did a reaction with them yesterday and looking through, it really was like they were hanging around with some teams. Like there were some really bad games that they had, but they were hanging around with some teams and it's like, oh, like they're scrappy. I mean, with the first game with the Packers, like that first half, that was tough, and then they fell apart the second half. But I mean, look what they did to the Cardinals. I mean, they destroyed the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So I think that the Lions, they're rebuilding the right way. In a few years, they're going to potentially be problematic.
The Lions will move on from Jared Goff and take Justin Fields.
Oh my God.
And another interdivision trade behind the Packers' back.
I don't think I got a $10 super. Oh, now I'm scrolling. Scrolling in the deep. Yeah, this one. Yeah, we showed this one. So who have the best chance in free agency in 2023? Oh, like DK?
Oh yeah, we popped that up. We just didn't address it. I don't think DK will leave Seattle.
They probably just throw a bunch of money at him because they're not going to be paying a QB.
Yeah,
but he's going to make a good amount of money.
Yeah, I think he's part of their plan.
I mean,
he doesn't seem like he's trying to force his way out. You know what I mean?
He doesn't.
But I mean, like AJ Brown, now it feels like he just didn't want to be in Tennessee anymore.
Which again, that was the most surprising. Oh man, I wish Scary Terry didn't want to be in Washington anymore.
I've admitted it. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Biggest need was a quarterback. We didn't take it. Did we get a damn good corner? Best corner on earth? Yes. Am I happy that we have that now
Best
that we have Russell
corner
Wilson?
on earth?
Yes. But I couldn't know what the future held. If I did, do you think I'd be doing this shit? I'd be playing Powerball every day. I would buy Tom Grossi's YouTube channel.
You can't buy it. It's not for sale.
It would be. You know when people say it's not for sale and then I show you a number so stupid, you're like, okay. And guess what I would demand, Tom?
What?
You just keep doing whatever you want, baby.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Every now and then you're like, but there has to be 3 dick jokes per week. And you also have to sell Benchwarmer brew. But I don't drink coffee.
Says you're getting too many subscribers because you're not doing enough dick jokes.
Okay. All right. That, you know what? That's valid. That's valid. And everyone will be like, oh my God, what did Brandon give you? And I was like, $20.
He gave me $20 and he demanded 0% of my revenue. It's a weird deal.
Yeah, it was a very strange deal. It was weird. But speaking of buying things, a new challenger has appeared to buy the Denver Broncos. By the way, I'm going to go on a limb and say Zach Wilson's the most improved.
Oh, well, I think you could argue Zach Wilson's team has done the best to build talent and put talent around him. I think Zach Wilson and Davis Mills.
I think Mac Jones could get it though, dude. Like, I think the wide receivers that they got, like they got Thornton, who was the fastest guy in the draft, ran a 4.28. They got Parker. Like they could be better. Like I wouldn't be surprised. And Bill Belichick is going to be like, hey, we drafted this QB. Yeah, sure. He's your backup. Also, if you make one bad throw, he is replacing you and I'm chopping your arm off.
Yeah. He's going to come in and throw 62 touchdowns just like he did in college in one season.
Done.
Yeah, Mac Jones is the safe bet. Zach Wilson needs to take the biggest leap. He has the least amount of excuses. Davis Mills still will have plenty of excuses if he does not play well because it's the Texans.
It's the Texans.
But he did decent on a worse roster last year.
True.
Hey, I've given Zach Wilson credit. I just make fun of him because he looks like a 12-year-old boy.
He does look like a 12-year-old. Like he doesn't look like he has a driver's license.
I like Zach Wilson. I thought he was a little oblivious coming into the NFL, but after watching him and listening to him, I think he just seems kind of like a good guy, and he's going to work hard, and he wants his teammates to succeed. He's got talent. Can they reel it in. Can the Jets be a good team? I don't know.
Daniel, I've been hearing that the Bears are going to take over the North for years, and you did it one time,
The
and
Bears
then you were never seen again.
Bears.
I'm waiting for it, Daniel. I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting so long. I'm getting hemorrhoids waiting.
Out of all of these second-year QBs, I think Zach Wilson has the best arm.
I'm not going to give him a lot of flack because it's his first year, a lot on his mind, trying to think about what he's going to wear to prom. You know, he's got to take the SATs. Like, there's a lot going on,
Yeah.
so I'm going to cut him some slack. But
figuring out why hair is starting to appear on his body.
Yep.
I mean, mine started on my nipples, so I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, the first place hair started growing, just right around.
Not even on your head.
No.
Nope. Came out of the womb. They're like, those are some hairy nipples.
Those ate it. No, that's hair.
Yep.
Yeah. Fields and Trey Lance, probably the most tools to succeed with, but we didn't see Trey. And, Fields is in the Baker Mayfield situation. New coach, new offense, all that stuff. So
Fields, I think, has the most. Fields and I guess you could say Trevor Lawrence because he was first overall, but I feel like Fields has the most pressure.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't, that's a huge swing and a miss for the Bears.
I guess Trevor Lawrence, he's got new coaching staff, but anything is better than Urban Meyer. So
Baker, I think, will find a team. I don't know when, if it's going to change throughout the season, but he will.
Oh, dear God, no.
Oh, God, no.
We took the ACTs. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I took the ACT and I took the SAT.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hated that. I didn't study at all.
I was very mediocre on the scores. And I think I tried to study.
I didn't.
Did you ever they have the practice tests for those?
Yeah, PSATs.
Yeah. I went to one of those and probably one of my top 10 hangovers all time. I got I was a junior and I went down the street to this senior's house, and I'm not a weed smoker. I'd drank. I'd had my enough alcohol, so I knew what I was doing there. But I had some beers, and then I just hotboxed in the car with the cool kids. Just got ripped out of my mind. Didn't think I was feeling it, so I kept smoking, and I was already drinking, and then I kept drinking, and there was we had a campfire. And I remember just standing there, laughing with everybody, and then it hit me, and I just started vomiting. Not even enough time to step away, just start puking. Somehow I get home, and then I woke up, and my mom's like, "You don't look great." I'm like, "I don't feel good." She's like, "You got to go to that PSAT thing, though." I was like, "Oh, shit." So I went there to do my practice test, and my mind was just mush.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a reason I got turned off of weed. It was one of my first real experience with it, just annihilated me. But anyway.
Well, you also got crossfaded the first time, which is probably not the best thing for you to do.
No.
That's probably not the best.
I later learned you have a little too much weed, have a drink to bring you back to normal you had a little bit.
To get that equilibrium back.
Yeah. But that was my experience with those. I'm like, this was the biggest waste of my time in my life. This test hurt.
I had to take 3 exams to become a teacher. So there was the SAT, it was standardized tests. I didn't study for a single one of them. The last one was the content specialty one, which is all on history. If you're doing history, or it's all math, if you do math, whatever. And that one's hard. Because they could ask you anything. It could be
Jeopardy,
world history. You have to write a whole essay. It could be on World War I. It could be about the Byzantine Empire. It could be about social and economic, turmoil in where, it could be anything. I was like, yeah, well, I'm not going to study for this. I passed it on the first try, and I was like, okay, we're good. Never again. Never again. I don't ever want to
write a paragraph. Pass.
Done. Oh. Kevin James.
Kevin.
There you go. Yeah. I don't miss
you
those at
jerk.
all.
That was the other thing that pissed me off is when I took the SA or the ACTs, I went with my buddies who
Yes.
were ripping bongs before the test, and they all outscored me by a lot. I went in sober, focused. I think I got like a 22, maybe a 23.
Appreciate you, Erod.
BS.
Your uncle seems like a very cool guy, by the way.
Yeah. And it was because I scored so poorly in the English grammar. It brought down all my scores, and I took 4 years of AP English.
Oh, crushed it.
And
I will say,
you didn't learn to read, idiot.
Dude, I read one whole book in high school. And the last year, I took a test where I had to write an essay on a book to go from regular to AP English, which I got. I got 3 on the AP exam at the very end, too. I read one whole book. You know what they told us on the AP English exam? Our teachers, don't write about Harry Potter. And so like everyone got like 3s and like 2s or whatever. The one kid who got a 5 wrote about Harry Potter. I'm like, this is BS. So, just saying.
Wow.
Just saying. Oh, bled all over my ACT. Nice.
Yeah, that's like this kid's taking performance-enhancing drugs. Get him out of here. He's
Get him
bleeding.
out.
We got
Get him out
later. He's cheating.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah.
They're stupid.
But yeah, I read one book. It was a great book, too. I liked it. Catcher in the Rye.
The luckiest thing that ever happened to me was we had to do like these tests on books. And I was a good kid. Like I would read the book so I could, get 9 out of 10 on the tests.
Yeah.
Well, I was supposed to read The Crucible. And it was the first time like I just totally just totally forgot to read the book.
Yeah.
And it just happened on HBO that night. The movie The Crucible was on. And I was like, oh my God. And the only reason I remembered I needed to read the book is because I saw the movie title. I'm like, oh God, I got to take a test on this tomorrow. Watch The Crucible. Got an 8 out of 10 on that shit.
Great
HBO
movie too.
saved my grade.
Dude, I remember The Crucible so well. One more story. All right. If there is anything that Tom Grossi knows how to do in life, it is BS his way to success.
Nice.
This is not any indication. Okay. All right. That's phenomenal. So a sophomore year of college, I took a writing intensive class that was for juniors and seniors, and I did not know when I signed up. It was called Race, Gender, and Performance. I was like, okay. But I needed the credit because it was like one of the gen eds, like one of the core classes. So I took it, and there's like seniors in this class, and they are literally failing this class. And I'm just doing well because I can write. That's like the one I'm really good at writing. So at one point she goes, okay, this is in New Paltz. So this is like a good 2 hours away from the city. She's like, what you need to do for an assignment is you need to go down. See this off-Broadway show. You need to spend money, go down to the city, watch it, come back, write an essay about it. I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, there's no way on God's green earth that I'm going down and taking a 2-hour bus ride to New York City to go see this stupid ass play. And then I'm like, there's no way. So a whole bunch of kids do it. I never go. I look up online. I find the play itself. And it's like, I don't know. It's like 30, 40 pages, something like that. I read through it, but I have to write like I saw it live. So I just made up a whole bunch of BS about the lighting, what have you. I got 100 on that paper. Kids who went into the city and actually saw it failed that paper.
Wow.
Failed it. And I'm sitting there with 100. I'm like, I'm so glad I did not. I wound up playing like Gears of War that night and did not go to the play instead. It was great.
That's funny.
Sometimes it works.
I actually was saving up my money to watch Hamilton in the future.
Oh.
That's what you told the teacher.
That's and they're like, "What's Hamilton?" And you're like,
"You'll see.
You'll see. Just like wait."
Show the teacher the paper and be like, "I didn't even go to the play, idiot."
Yep. Done.
Man. 100%. Yeah, like I would just do videos.
Yep.
Like in high school, you make a video project. Teacher A. there's like 3 things of like information from the book you read, and then
Yep.
just a bunch of dumb jokes. He was like, look, they put in the work. That
Done.
was my go-to. But
Done. That was great. Did
Wow.
we talk about everything that we needed to talk about? We went on a bit of a tangent there. The DeAndre Hopkins thing. Oh, yeah, that's and then you talk about RG3.
Yeah. So RG3, who played for the Ravens,
Transition.
saying Hollywood Brown wanted out because of Greg Roman's system. Didn't think he could get enough production to get that big contract.
Run first team.
So he goes to the Cardinals, where they throw it a lot more than they run. And I tend to trust RG3's opinion here because he was on the team, understands the offense, understands the mentality of a lot of players. I think especially at the receiver position, now that they're seeing how much guys are making, like, that makes a little more sense. Plus, that makes sense for the Cardinals now that we know DeAndre Hopkins is going to miss some time.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw on Reddit that Hopkins possibly has the same trainer or guy to work out with that Will Fuller, Bradley Roby, and AJ Boye had. They all got suspended around the same time for PEDs, and they all blamed like the guy they were training with.
Yes.
Like taking something that had the trace amounts of some banned substance. So it's like, if that's true, and it came from like, why is Hopkins still working with that guy?
Yeah.
There's like that evidence that all those dudes got suspended.
It's like, oh, no,
I
it was
that because I was following Roby still. I think that was his first year. That was Boye got suspended when he was with the Broncos. Roby was over with the Texans at the time. So anyway.
So that, I mean, do you think that the worst team in the league, so like it's the Jaguars, for that year, they could all use steroids and it's fine. Totally legal. That's how you get the competitive advantage back.
So by the way, Han, take that off.
On Culture, appreciate you for the 50. That's phenomenal. And because of that, I give you this.
Go Chargers, go.
I know we haven't seen a Go Chargers. I know he's Packers fan, but we haven't seen Go Chargers go.
Oh, Chargers go.
But like they are able to just for that year, they could use all the steroids they want. So like they could come out just jacked.
Worst team, that's an exception. I did a bit in a video that you know how the rookies get those RAS scores?
Yes, the RAS.
Veterans, you do that score. And based on where they're at, that's the amount of PEDs they're allowed to take. That's the true level playing field. So an older guy whose RAS score goes down a little bit, you can take a little bit of PEDs so that you're playing like you're 26 still. I think that's the way you balance it out. And you have a veteran combine in May. The NFL televises it.
Yep.
And then we know how athletic everybody still is.
Yep. Do a BS test to still do well? Oh, yeah. Didn't show up. Listen, it's a gift. Sometimes it's a gift. That's the thing. Regular tests, I could barely do that. But if there's a writing component, I got it. I don't even have to read the book. It's fine. Like we got this.
Yeah, it's almost like the secret to school is just, I don't know, to me, it felt like learning that tests are actually pretty easy. Like if you just nail the tests and you just turn in work, you're going to fly.
I tried to explain this to my students a million times. I was like, if you are like half alive in class and pay attention, you'll walk out of here probably with a B. Like that you will. If you hand in your work, don't be late. Just do it. And you're good.
I think it gave me unrealistic expectations of how the real world works.
Oh, yeah.
I can do just enough and excel at school without like really trying because there's like a system to play there. And there's a system to play in the real world, but it's like opposite of school, I feel like.
Dude, I passed my astronomy class. I don't think I got above like a 50 on an exam, but I was nice to the teacher and I got an A in that class. I don't know how. She also was like a little odd. She would invite kids to her house like to swim in her pool.
Oh yeah, she just watched you do shirtless laps.
Oh,
in
I
the
did
pool.
not go in. I did not go to her house.
You
She's
like this, Miss Beatrix?
And I
You
was
like the
like-
sun radiating off my body, bouncing into your eyes, nearly blinding you?
I'm blinding you. Do you see this? Like it's just like looking at a mirror. All right. I think we did it.
We did a good show.
We did
We
it.
talked
I
about
say this is a
football,
great
and then
show.
we talked about ourselves. That's what everybody wants to hear.
We did.
It's just
We did.
cathartic for us, really.
Yeah. Listen, I graduated magna cum laude for college, and you know what that means? Absolutely nothing. It means no one cares. Once you're out of college, you know the number that matters: how much you're in debt. That's what matters, and the job you get for like 5 cents after you.
How
get
much you wasted on student loans?
That's it. That is it. Perny, got anything coming out today?
That's a good question. I'm working on an AFC West video. I don't know if I'm going to get it done today.
Why the Broncos will finish last?
You better watch it. You better watch it. I'm going
Got
to
it.
make you take a test next week, and there will be no writing.
Oh, I want the writing.
It'll either be out today or maybe Sunday.
I'm very excited. Yeah, we didn't talk about that, Perna. The Green Bay Packers, they were the only team to not go international. Got the date. We're playing against the Giants. The Broncos are heading over the pond, too.
Tom and I will just be in London for all of October.
London. Come, Perna, if there is any time to do a Peaky Blinders impression, it was now.
Welcome to the London game. You're the Peaky Blinder.
That went from like Dutch to maybe Swiss to maybe ended Scottish.
Dush, Peaky Blinder. Hey, it's me. I'm a Peaky Blinder. London, the Broncos are the good ones, eh?
Don't even know that one.
9?
Okay, so now we just went German. Okay. All right. So you're maybe
Gulag.
having
I will
video on
send
the
you
web.
to Gosh Gulag. Dude, the final season of Peaky's coming out in June. I'm ready.
You're obviously very prepared.
Yes.
You're very prepared.
Oh, I'm excited for the London game, except for that it starts at 7:30 a.m. here.
Yeah, that sucks.
That does suck.
People are asking if I'm going to go to the London game. I would consider it. I need to see what the schedule of games is that day too. Because if it's like all crap games, then I'll go. But
Yeah, I'm considering it if I can convince, I don't know, DraftKings to pay for me to go. Maybe pay for us to go. I don't know. I don't know if I can do 2 trips to London though. I was hoping our games were going to be back-to-back weekends. That would have been. We would have definitely figured that out. But
oh yeah, we would have made it happen.
What are you doing today, Tom?
I'm gonna go to the movies right now, so I don't get spoiled tonight for Doctor Strange 2. And then my Friday night Q&A is gonna come out, and I'll probably do videos over the weekend.
Nice.
I got 4 reaction videos left, and I'm done. So
You're free. You'll be a free man.
But folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
And you've reached your destination of the Peaky Blinder.